This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Marcum MicroCap Conference 2015 in New York City. I have with me Dr. Christopher Missling of Anavex Life Sciences Corp. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is AVXL. Christopher, welcome back to SNNLive.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's good to have you. Let's get an overview on the company for our audience to start with.
Anavex is targeting one of the most difficult diseases, which is Alzheimer's. And we're having various compounds for this indication. And we are a small company now in the middle of a clinical trial in Alzheimer's disease.
So let's drill down on it. What's happened in the last quarter that's revolutionary for the company and new that we can tell the audience?
So we are, as I mentioned, in the middle of the trial, which started in January with the first patient enrolled. And now we are in the middle of it, and we're expecting already preliminary data on this trial in the third quarter of this year.
What are your expectations? Stay within reason. Don't say anything you can't say.
Yes, I wish I knew. It's going to be what it will be, but the preclinical data suggests that we should be hopeful, but ultimately we have to see what the clinical data will show up.
Where are you doing the clinicals?
We are doing this trial in Australia entirely there. We were able to start this trial faster in any other place, and that's where we are able to do that there.
So explain exactly how this works.
So the drug works more upstream than the drugs which have been tested in the past. And we've noticed that there's one common denominator in Alzheimer's patients, which is aggregation of proteins or protein misfolding. And the protein we're targeting, which is a regulatory protein called sigma-1 receptor, is basically reducing this aggregation and reducing the misfolded proteins. And we're expecting from this further upstream activity an improvement in the cognitive state of the patients.
Is it literally a reversal of the disease with people who have it, or is it a preventative?
The preclinical data suggests it is both, because we were able to confirm that it prevents the disease before getting it, and also it showed to be reversed once the disease already manifests itself.
I wonder, what's the size of the market in the world? I mean, it's growing because the population is aging, correct?
Indeed, it is really growing, and it's right now the latest estimate we heard was in the range of $67 billion per year sales if the treatment could be found for this indication.
Does it have any bearing as to how old the patient is in years, or is it, because they have been discovering that there's early Alzheimer's as well, so the patient age is lowering instead of going higher. Am I correct?
Yes, and it's interesting because it's almost like that the genetic cause is causing this probably, but still we have the majority of the patient being in the age range of 75 or higher, which is clearly indicating the high correlation with the age is predominant.
So is there any particular country or region of the world that's higher than another, or is it universal?
It's really, so far what we know, really universal, and it seems to also correlate with the longevity. So the older some people will get, the more likely, because it's correlation with the age.
So let me ask you, if you're desiring to put this into the population, are you the size company that can actually put it into the population? I mean, this is going to take an enormous amount of money to go from development into manufacturing into distribution. You're smiling.
There's no doubt about that this is a very large indication and will require a pharmaceutical partnership, and it's not uncommon for this disease.
So, Christopher, let me ask you a question. Why has it taken so long for a company like yourself to start even to work on Alzheimer's?
I believe it's one of the most difficult indications that in diseases which has not been able to, I would say, decipher. and we had made incredibly good advancement in cancer, in infections like HIV and hepatitis C, but Alzheimer's seems to evade the intelligence and the capabilities of currently scientists. The good news is, though, we know today much more than we knew 4 or 5 years ago. And that might be the right moment now to be more confident about this.
Would you please give us the website? We'd like to send our audience to your website.
Absolutely. The website is www.anavex.com.
And Anavex.com, ladies and gentlemen, it's Anavex Life Sciences Corporation. The publicly traded company symbol is AVXL. This is Dr. Christopher Missling. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Marcum MicroCap Conference 2015 in New York City. Christopher, thanks for coming on to SNNLive.
Thank you for having me.